Yes, yes, yes. We are back with another banger. Today we will be talking about a mindset topic, and I was thinking about it on the road today. I'm thinking about my normal, right? What's normal to me today is not normal to wasn't normal to me yesterday, or say years ago. And I thought about it like if you change your normal, you can change your life. And we'll go into it. We're going to go into it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But I got a new product. I forgot to order this thing. I pre-ordered this thing a long time ago. It's literally Sigma's first native lens. The first native lens coming for the RF mount. It's the 18 to 55 millimeter. It's a not a full frame lens. It's a crop lens, but it's pretty dope because it's got 18 wide and it has the 50 millimeter and it's 2.8 and it's native. So I want to check autofocus. I want to check the clarity of it. I want to check everything about it. So I'm gonna do more of a video and do footage. I literally just got it. So I was like, oh, let me tell y'all guys about it because this lens, I mean, they released it maybe like a couple of weeks ago, a month ago. And I just went online and ordered it because I was dying for a lens that had that was native to Sigma, because originally I would have to put a filter adapter on it, and I hate it because it makes it bigger. But this lens is really small. Wow. Like this is bigger than, that's amazing. This tells me though that they're going to be making more because they have a lot of they have Sony, they have Canon EF, but they didn't really have the RF mount. And now that they started to make the RF mount, kudos to them that they started making the RF mount. So this is the lens. Can you see it? Can you see it? Is it out of front? Ooh, I got to put some more light over here. But this is the lens. Comes with the. If you notice, this is bigger than the back is bigger than the front. But cool lens, nevertheless. Wanted to talk to you guys about it. You get the lens, you get a nice little mount for the front. Pretty cool. I'll do some reviews. I'll take some pictures. You know how I do with you guys. I give you everything I have access to, you have access to. So I'll show y'all that in a sec. In a little bit, I'll bring that back. Make sure that mic's working. Let's just put this back. Maybe I'll use it on my next episode, but I'll definitely do a review. So this is kind of like personal too. So my little stories, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all because I'm a real. So if you know me, you know I grew up in the projects. I grew up in poverty, really hard in terms of like single parent, welfare and things like that. So I didn't grow up with the best upbringing. Now, I wouldn't change my upbringing for nothing because it's who I am. It's who made Michael J. MacDonald, right? It's the reason why I want more. It's the reason why I'm so determined. It's the reason why I've been dedicated in being better, right? And providing for my kids better than what I had to go through, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to work hard for our future. And Legend's my future. Loyal's my future. So I was thinking about it, like, I was talking with my wife. I'm like, it's kind of crazy because like roaches and things like that was normal to me, like mice and stuff like that. It was normal to me where it wouldn't be like out of the ordinary. It's just a roach, right? And you think about that in terms of like, wow, how could you feel like, because now that I don't have those concerns anymore, but if I was to see one, I would be disgusted. Knowing that like back in the day, it was just normal, like things like that. Another thing, like raising your voice and being loud. Until I see myself like being loud and raising my voice, I thought it was normal. Like when people get upset, they raise their voice. But when you look outside of yourself and then look at the behavior or something you're doing that you may have thought was normal, it's not as normal if you start to look at it and you start to change your mindset. You start to change your perspective on things. And those are the processes of growing up and becoming more evolved, becoming more of a great human being and a better person, right? And if you want to get to the next level, if you want to be successful, you got to change your normal. And I think that has a lot to do with my success and my growth. I started to change my normal. Like a lot of the things that used to be normal to me, even like being home, just drinking all the time, that was normal to me until I stepped outside of myself and looked at it like, you're just drinking a drink. What's the occasion? What's the purpose? What's the point? And as I changed my normal and changed the things that I was doing that used to be normal to me are no longer normal, I started to be more productive at other things. I started to be, shape my life up in a better place and become a better person, a better human being. And I think most of us, we are convenient with our normal in our lives that we do not make changes in our life to become better because we're so normal and we're scared to see what's on the other side. But what you're going to realize is take one thing in your life, like take one thing that you do all the time and just change it. Just the one thing. And see, like, if it's going, like, it could be as simple as going on your phone every single morning, right? And going to like social media. Do it for 21 days. Like, say, I'm going to go 21 days without going on Instagram when I first wake up. See where that time's spent. Take a look at yourself and see, like, I'm not going on the phone every morning for 21 days. What else am I going to do with that time? Am I going to work out? Am I going to, spend more time with my family? Am I going to be more present? Like, just think about that. Take one thing out of your daily day that you do all the time and change it to something that's more productive. Take that and change it to something that's productive for 21 days. And just see with those 21 days, how your life benefits from it and how your productivity benefits from it. And you'll realize, like, one thing at a time. And as you go, you do the next thing and you do the next thing and you do the next thing. Now, as far as these normals that you think are normal, that does take some time to, look outside of yourself, because if it's normal to you, you don't see nothing wrong with it. And how do you come to a point in your life where you see something wrong with it? That could be something like I did. I recorded myself. Well, I was on camera when I was raising my voice. I didn't like the person I was looking at when I was raising my voice. I didn't have to raise my voice to prove my point. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room. And when you're inside of that person and you're doing that behavior, you're not necessarily realizing what you're doing because you're inside. But when you step out, as I was being recorded and I look at myself, then I realize, like, no, that is not okay. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to get loud. You don't have to, do anything out of just speaking to a person to make it feel like to get your point across. And this is another thing, how I realized, like, the normal things, right? And this could be, way far. I'm a dog person. Before I even say this question, and before I even say this story, just know I love my dog. She's right there looking at me. But I just think like when Michael Vick, that time when Michael Vick had his incident with the dogs, I was like, how could someone be so cruel, right? But then I started to think about it. Michael Vick probably grew up with dogs being, fought, right? So they were fighting dogs probably his whole entire life, right? So now he was normal to that, like a dog being killed and being eaten and all that and being brutalized and things that was normal to him because he probably seen it his whole entire life. So it was so normal that when he became successful, and I don't know the story of friends or whatever asked him to invest into a dog fighting ring, but when it came a point where he wanted to invest into dog fighting or become like an owner of a dog fighting kennel, right? It was normal to him. It was like, all right, that's just normal. Like, all right, take the money. It was no thought in his mind that he thought that he was doing something wrong because that was his normal. And until he, obviously got caught, or until he had a chance to realize that what he was doing was wrong, it was not wrong in his eyes. It was totally fine because it was his normal. And that is the most important thing, is like what we're doing, we think is normal. Even today, to this day, probably I'm doing something that's normal, that I think is normal, that probably isn't, right? Like we're not perfect, but the more you can minimize the things that shouldn't be normal out your life that you think are normal, I think the more that you can become a better person, a better human being, and be more productive and more successful. That is the mindset topic that I wanted to speak about today. I don't want to just drag it on, but I just really wanted to hit that because when I was driving today, I was like, wow, that's amazing that a lot of things that I thought were normal are actually not normal. And now that I changed those things, how much beneficial it was to my life. And I give that to you guys. Think about the things that you are doing that you think are normal, but aren't. And ways to do that is maybe record yourself, maybe talk to somebody about some of the things you do, or simple as seeing things that are not as productive and replacing them with things that are a little bit more productive. Try that for 21 days, see how it goes. Who knows? You might become even better at what you do. Who knows what you got to lose? So take that chance. That's our homework for the next 21 days. One thing that is not productive, replace it with something that is more productive for 21 days. You got this. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. See y'all later.